Boker Tov, everyone. Rabbi Eric Solomon outside on a beautiful day, finally, in Raleigh, North Carolina, Morning Torah. This week's Torah portion is Vaethanan. Its primary focus is Moses. Moshe wants to make it into the promised land. He's not going to be able to. He pleads. Vaethanan is what that means. And it's about transition of leadership. You know, Moshe doesn't want to say goodbye. He wants to make it to his life's vision. And basically God says, no, you have to stay on the other side. And you can't get there with him. And it's been very powerful here in our current political times to see that with President Biden. This is not a partisan comment, it's just it's about politics, about leadership. You know, he wanted to keep going. And when the emphasis has been here about kind of passing the baton, or maybe him not being ready to pass it, but he did do it in the end, to his total credit. But how hard that is for him, like Moses. But the other piece, which has been talked about a little bit less, the people around President Biden. And it was hard for them to see him let go of the power too. Some were clearly advising him to hold on too. Sometimes it's hard for the people around the leader to let go. It reminded me of a personal story. I remember when I was in my whole life growing up, my grandfather, may rest in peace, used to lead our Passover Seder when I was really young. And then my father took over that job. And of course, everyone participated, but my dad was like the leader of it. So fast forward. I'm in my early 20s, I go to my first year of rabbinical school. I come back from Jerusalem, and my dad turns to me at the Passover Seder. It's like second year maybe. He says, "Eric, you know, getting ready for Seder, I think it's time for you to lead the Seder. You know, you know more than me now. You've been studying in yeshiva." I was taken aback. I wasn't ready. I didn't want to. I remember my grandfather sitting in that chair. My father for all those years, my dad leads it. Or my parent, you know, that's the Seder, that's Passover, it's Pesach, it's them doing it. My dad was saying, though, no, I think it's time for you to take more of a role. Now, I didn't lead it that year immediately, but I began to participate more. And over time, I did start leading the Seder, and eventually lead it with my wife, Jenny. Together we lead the Seder. What I feel about that is that not just I give my dad credit for wanting to fast it forward, it wasn't easy, but also that I wasn't ready too. That's part of this parsha too. It's not only about the leader letting go, which is important. It's about the people letting the leader let go. Let's remember that together. That's part of the natural course of life. And actually a sign of the greatest leader is the ability to have disciples. It's the ability to pass it on. To know that you kind of implanted something for generations to come. That's real leadership. And I give President Biden so much credit for eventually getting there as well. Maybe even against some people around him. Shabbat Shalom.